Hi. Here we have in a group of 10 students, the mean of the lowest 9 scores is 42 while mean of the highest 9 scores is 47. For the entire group of 10 students, the maximum possible mean exceeds the minimum possible mean by how much? Okay, so let's talk about the scores of individual students. There are S1, S2, S3, so on till S9 and S10. These are the students. So let's say score of the lowest student, this is the student scoring lowest is L, and this is the student scoring highest, which is L. And let's say the sum of all these scores is X. Sum of all the scores excluding highest and the lowest is X. Now the question says the mean of lowest 9. So these are the lowest 9. So mean of these lowest 9 is 42. Hence the sum of these lowest 9 will be L plus X. Sum of these 9 students will be L plus X, which is equal to 9 times 42. So L plus X here comes out to be 378. Okay. Also, it's given that the mean of the highest 9 scores is 47, as in the mean of these are the 9 students with highest marks, right? So mean of these students is 47. So sum will be 9 into 47. And this sum will be X plus H. Right? So from here H plus X comes out to be 9 into 47, which is 63, 423. This is the second equation. And now we need to figure out the maximum and minimum possible value of the average of entire 10 people. So the average of entire 10 people will be the sum of all their marks divided by the number of students, which is 10. So we'll talk about their maximum value and their minimum value. Okay. So now here we know H plus X. H plus X is 423. So the average here becomes L plus 423 upon 10. Now if you want to maximize this average, this is possible when the marks of the lowest students is maximum possible. And what can be the maximum possible marks of the lowest students? So for lowest students, the maximum possible marks can be only 42. It cannot be greater than 42, right? If average of the least 9 students is 42, the score of the lowest will be 42 maximum. That is possible when all of them have 42 marks. So if this is 42, we have 42 plus 423 is 465 by 10. So the highest average possible is 46.5. Correct? Now let's calculate the minimum average. For minimum average, we know L plus X is 378. So the average comes out to be 378 plus H by 10. Now to minimize this, we need to minimize the marks of the highest person. Now it's given that the average of the highest 10 people is 47. So score of the highest person cannot be less than 47. It can be way higher than 47. There is no limit as such to what can be the highest marks of H. Hence, we are not considering the highest marks of H or the lowest marks of L. There is a limit to how high can L be and how low can H be. So we are considering those limits here. So the lowest possible value of H is 47. If average of all these numbers is 47, then how can the highest be less than average, right? It cannot be. So the lowest possible value of H is 47. So we have 378 plus 47 is 425 by 10, which comes out to be 42.5. So now what we have is, this is the highest possible average, this is the least possible average. The difference between highest and the least possible average is 4. Hence the answer to this question is option A. Again, I am not bothered about the least possible value of L. L can be any least value, right? Marks can be negative, it can be minus 100, 200, whatever it is. There is no limit to it, but there is a limit to how high this can be. Since the average of all these numbers is 42, L cannot be greater than 42. Similarly, if the average of all these numbers is 47, H cannot be less than 47. H can take any higher value. It may be 200, 300, 400, 500, whatever, but it cannot be less than 47 for sure. And considering these limitations, we calculate maximum and the minimum average possible, and the difference comes out to be option A. Thank you.